What is up, guys? It is Corey19, and today we are playing some Monster Energy Supercross 2, the official game. And today we are going to be going over probably the biggest complaint that I have heard from this game from everyone that is used to more like Reflex or MX Sim. They're like, you can't freaking turn in this game. The turning is retarded. You can't do it. Like, this game sucks. Well, we're going to be going over how the best way to turn in this game is. Now, as we look at my rider and the custom gear and custom graphics, let me just put out a disclaimer. I have finished all the training. I'm 30 out of 30 with all the stars. I have all the gold stars things. So that makes night and day difference from what you start off as. So if your biggest complaint is the turning, first just grind away those games, those training sessions. It's a grind, but do it. You'll thank me later. The game is night and day difference. But let's get into some of the, let's say, basics. If you saw my MXGP Pro video, this will kind of sound familiar, but the number one thing in this game is your line choice, how you attack the track. So you want to kind of have this sweeping motion through the apex of the turns. I'm going slow just so that I can show you my lines. You can see the lines in the track. Like, you want to approach from the outside and kind of sweep through, and that's the biggest thing, line choice. And you see that in real life too. You don't see pros going up the inside, hugging right here, and then going. They are, let's see it, if it'll let me do this. Yeah, boy. But they're sweeping through, trying to make the turn as straight as possible, if that makes sense. Crap. Ooh, nope, didn't get it. But that's the idea. It doesn't matter what track you're riding, you kind of want to approach from the outside for the turn and then kind of sweep through. Then, as you're going through, you don't want to really give it any gas until the apex of the turn. So, this corner is a little different. I can kind of just pin it all the way through. Kind of giving it blips of throttle, but still keeping it high RPM. But you're just sweeping through, blipping through, and then you get on the gas once you're through the apex of the turn. And you shouldn't have any issue of sliding out if you do that. Now, don't make it a cookie cutter thing like, oh, I can't give it gas until after the apex of the turn. Like, some turns, like, you can definitely throttle down like just a third of the way through a turn and be fine. It just depends on the turn, on the track, on the dirt, and all that. You kind of just have to trial and error it for a little bit. But let's get into the actual mechanics of turning. Right now this is for advanced physics. I have manual shifting, separate braking, and I guess some disclaimers on that is a lot of new guys I see, they're talking about, oh, I just got used to using both brakes and clutching it and stuff like that. Me, I don't touch the back brake ever, and I don't touch the clutch after the start. It's only front brake, bike lean, and rider lean. That's it. Forgot to shift up into fifth through that. But front brake, leaning, leaning, leaning. Now it's just bike lean after the apex. I know that was pretty fast, so we'll go through it again. So coming up to the turn, it's just brakes, rider lean, and the bike lean. So rider lean, that's the right stick. Bike lean, that's the left stick. So approaching the apex of the turn, your front brake and you're leaning with the bike and the rider lean until the apex of the turn. Then at the apex of the turn, you kind of ease off the rider lean, and that's when you can hammer down on the throttle. If you're rider leaning and hammering down the throttle, that's usually when your back end slides out and you go down. So brake, rider lean, flipping the throttle a little bit. You can get away with kind of like blipping the throttle with the rider lean and the bike lean. Like that's what I'm doing right here. But to completely open up the throttle and hammer down, you kind of you can't be really leaning with the rider lean. Blipping. Went a little too far on that. This section is probably going to be the most annoying for the DMR series this week. But that corner, that bowl turn is actually really slippery. It's really easy to lose your back end in that. Dang it. But that's basically the gist of it. It's kind of just getting the feel for it. Brakes, rider lean, blah, 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 blah. And you just have to, you just have to do it enough until it becomes second nature. You don't even have to think about it. And a lot of it, like, you're not going to hit your line perfectly every single time. Like right there, I drifted out. The issue with that was I didn't let my back end kick out enough. I was blipping it too much. And that's just feel. Like, you're not going to just pick up a track and get that. But, like, after a while, you're just like, oh, nope, I need to kick out my back end more. I'm not turning enough. But yeah, like regardless of the track that you're riding, utilize the edges of the track, then sweep through the apex of the turn to try and make the turn as straight as possible. That's what the pros do, and that's the biggest difference between like a C-class rider, a B-class rider, an A-class rider, and a pro. It's really like how much speed they can carry through the turns. And like if you notice like amateur riders, like they don't do that sweeping thing. They go through here, they're like, I'm just trying to shorten up the turns as much as possible. I'm gonna just go to the insides. I'm not going to the outside. And you have to slow up so much more to make the turn. Like your average speed through the turn. Ooh, I almost got the triple. Like, fuck, I didn't do it in that turn. But like amateur riders, what they do is, if it's this left-hand turn, instead of approaching it on the right-hand side like you should, you're approaching it right here. You're going up through, you're turning, and then you're getting on the gas. Oops, fourth gear. Still gonna make it, boys. But, so, just sweep through. Front brake only. You'll never go down just holding the front brake. I've never gone down doing that. And then rider lean, and then once you want to get on the throttle and just hold it down pinned, make sure you're not doing the rider lean. And then for some corners you kind of have to, it's not all throttle and brake. Some corners you kind of have to coast into the apex, like you're like brop, and then like coasting, and then you get on the throttle. Because carrying that momentum in that higher gear is more advantageous. There aren't really any of those on this track. I guess this upcoming corner, that this is probably the closest that we'll get, because I go brop and then kind of coast through like the first, like I kind of gas it for the first quarter of the turn, then I kind of coast through the second quarter to the apex of the turn, and then I get on the gas. But yeah, that's basically it. And you just have to get used to used to the physics, and like you can hammer down in this game. It's just learning your limits, and trust me, like especially MXGP Pro, not so much this game because the turning is pretty similar, but you just have to get used to what those limits are, and you're gonna crash learning those limits, and you can't really get too frustrated at it because as long as you're learning where those limits are, you're not failing at the game. Goddamn wheelie. But and then the next biggest thing is after you get these lines down, like you can see that, well actually like during this video I've been taking different lines, so not as much, but you can see for the most part that there's only one worked in line in the track. Like probably 80% of this track is untouched. You just have to hit your lines cleanly and that'll let you do your thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like these how-to videos? Do you want me to make more? I'm thinking about making a bike set video and then possibly a scrubbing video, just to knock those out of the park. And then I'm working on making a video for custom skins. Like this 7 gear that I have, it's completely custom, just a recolor of the 7 gear, but whoop, ooh, scrubbed that way too hard. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video and make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll finish out this lap and then I will see you guys next time.